warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Hello.
Good morning, everyone.
We are from group 7,
Seven.
and today we're excited to present on iPhone Lovers Mourn. My name is Syakirah Ramsi Hasbi.
And I'm Theresia Panondang Siregar.
And I'm Quraima Idham Khalid.
And I'm Nabila Zahra Ahmalia.
And together we'll explore more about this presentation. Alright, for the first presentation, my partner, my teammates will be your presenter today. He is Quraima Idham Khalid. Please.
So, why is iPhone lovers in Indonesia is mourning right now? It's because iPhone 16 is blocked in Indonesia. Why is it blocked? The main reason the iPhone 16 is blocked in Indonesia is that the domestic component level or TKDN requirements have not been met. What is TKDN? TKDN is the percentage value of domestically derived components in a product. Simply put, the Indonesian government wants to ensure that electronic products sold here have components that are partially. The goal is to encourage the growth of domestic industries and reduce dependence on imported products. Why is the iPhone 16 not yet TKDN component level compliant? Uh, I have 2 points here. The first one is the main components are still imported. Currently, most of the key components used in the manufacturing of the iPhone, especially the latest models such as the iPhone 16, are still manufactured overseas. One of the key components uh, is the processor or chipset. Apple designs and develops its own chipsets used in the iPhone, but mass production of these chips is usually done by large semiconductor companies in other countries, such as Taiwan or South Korea. The chipset manufacturing process is very complex and requires very sophisticated production facilities. The second point of this slide is lack of production facilities. Indonesia, despite its great potential in the manufacturing industry, still faces several obstacles in terms of the production facilities needed to produce advanced components such as those used in the iPhone. One of the factors that contributes to this condition is large investment. Building a new production facility requires a huge investment, whether it is to purchase machinery and equipment, construct buildings, or recruit a trained workforce. Uh, Maybe my partner Syakirah Ramsi will present to you guys about her point.
This section, today we'll explore the correlation between the blocking of the iPhone 16 in Indonesia and its impact on international communication students. This policy carries significant implication, especially for students who heavily rely on smartphones for academic tasks, social connectivity, and stay updated on global trends. While the ban could disrupt access to essential tools and reduce productivity, it may also encourage the adaptation of local products and shift focus toward the quality of content over devices. My presentation will examine both the challenges and opportunities created by this restriction, highlighting its social, Let's dive into the key points to understand these dynamics better. Alright, so here I have three key points for the main points of this presentation. The first one is trend, technology trends. Communication students are often interested in the latest technology. Being unable to use the newest iPhone could hinder their ability to keep up with trends. And the second one is productivity. Um, many students use smartphones for academic tasks. Restrictions on device use could reduce productivity and efficiency. And the last point is focus on content quality. This point is positive impacts for international communication students. About this, limited access to high-end devices could shift the focus to the quality of content rather than the device itself. All right, let's move. Let's dive into the next slide. My partner will explain it to you.
So the next one is influence on the Indonesian government. The first one is consumer protection. The primary aim to shield consumer from risks associated with buying low quality products or devices without official warranties. Without these warranties, consumer may face problems such as defective goods, lack of after sales support, and difficulties in obtaining repairs or replacement. And protecting consumer ensures they receive products that meet qualities and safety standards, fostering trust in the market and encouraging responsible business practices from sellers and manufacturers. The second one is enforcement of TKDN regulation and policies. TKDN regulation required foreign manufacturers to meet specific local content requirements. This means they must either incorporate a percentage of locally made components in their products or invest in local production. This regulation encourages the growth of domestic industries by creating jobs, transferring knowledge, and also strengthening local supply chains. Strict enforcement ensures foreign companies adhere to these rules, contributing to national industrial development and leveling the playing field for local businesses. The third one is potential loss of tax revenue. Illegal sales or imports of devices like iPhone 16 result in significant tax revenue losses. Taxes such as import duties, VAT, and sales taxes, which should be collected on official transaction, are evaded. This directly impacts to government ability to fund public services, infrastructure projects, and social programs, as these resources are heavily dependent on consistent tax revenues. And the last one is crackdown on illegal sellers. The rise of unauthorized sellers, especially on online platforms, poses challenges to regulation and consumer protection. These sellers often advertise and sell unlicensed or imported products without complying with legal requirements. By cracking down on illegal sales, authorities protect consumers from fraud and substandard goods, while ensuring tax compliance and supporting legitimate enterprises. This approach addresses economic, industrial, and consumer related concerns, supporting a balanced and regulated market. So the next one is
So let's move to the impact on people in Indonesia. Because iPhone 16 is getting blocked in Indonesia, there's so many impact for people in Indonesia. But for now, we're just to talk about four impact, who the biggest impact for people in Indonesia. The first one is struggling to access new technology. iPhone 16 comes with a bunch of cool new features that are like the next level technology for iPhone users. But because it's getting blocked, people in Indonesia are stuck and cannot really enjoy those new features. The second one is buying universal stuff or getting it from outside the country. People want to buy the iPhone 16 to purchase it from illegal or unofficial stores, or even buy it abroad. This leads to some people getting scammed by in-car stores, and it also makes things harder for even iPhone users in Indonesia. In the end, they still have to pay for the email registrations once the iPhone 16 arrives in Indonesia to get it registered here. The third is shifting trend style. With the difficult of getting the iPhone 16, style trends will start shifting to other phone brands that look similar to the iPhone 16. These also change the trend in Indonesia, making the iPhone 16 not fully the main hype anymore. So people in Indonesia are kind of forced to stick to technology that's easier to access around there. And the last one is controversy and protest. This has caused quite a bit of controversy because many Indonesians are sharing their protest and opinion about the iPhone 16. Of course, everyone has different views, which has led to some drama between those who support the iPhone 16 being blocked and those who think it should still come to Indonesia. These differences are what kind of create divisions among people in Indonesia, and that's definitely not a good thing. I'll share one example of a case related to the controversy and protest about the iPhone 16. So this was a super viral case back in August, and people are still talking about it now. So who is Rizuka Ari? Rizugari is a famous influencer and TikToker with some of followers. Last August, he shared his talk and arguments about the iPhone 16 being blocked in Indonesia on his Instagram story. In his story, like was shown in a slide, he expressed his anger and frustrations about the government's decisions, which he felt was unfair. He mentions that his work heavily relies on iPhones, so he couldn't accept the fact that the iPhone 16 wouldn't be available in Indonesia. He even broke up how he pays taxes to the government but still can't enjoy the iPhone 16 in his own country. At the end of his story, he added some pretty controversial words, which made a lot of Indonesian netizens angry, disappointed, and upset. His Instagram and TikTok got flooded with hate comments, people dragging his and even some blocking his account. Until now, Rizik Ari hasn't clarified anything or apologized for what he said. And then why we are choose Rizuka Ari case as the data for our group, because he's the influencer who spoke out the most against the iPhone 16 ban. And this case went super viral, which made us curious to dig deeper into it. Honestly, this case is kind of long and complicated, but we have done for the best to summarize it so it can be a good research reference for our group.
Before we end our presentation, we hope that we can all know the reason and the impact on the community and Indonesian government, and as well as communication science students. That's all from our presentation. Thank you for your time. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.